Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Nova Project. I'm your host as ever, Purple Midnight 8, joined once again, seemingly also as ever, by the Obsidian Nook slash Pal ASMR. Why don't you say hello?
Hello.
Today we are covering Weird the Al Yankovic story, let's call it a satire biopic, which we did not expect.
I would have never watched it if it weren't for the internet.
It was such a weird fucking thing.
I didn't even know who he was.
Yeah, and the fact he's actually in it. Yeah, I will just preface this by saying, unfortunately, we watched this a couple of days ago, and I cannot for the life of me find where the fuck the file with all of my information is. So we're kind of winging this a little bit, because, like I say, we haven't got anything to fucking go off. I don't know what happened, I think we had a bit of a corruption somewhere. So, if you're not familiar with Weird Al, like yourself,
Generally, no idea who I'm not still doesn't.
he basically brought parodies into more of a mainstream sort of light, if you wish.
Oh, okay.
So, you know how you've got YouTube parodies all like from years and years ago, they've kind of died off a bit now.
Yeah, I think it was like back in 2000. You had Sean Dawson, you
Rob
had
Baker, I think his name was.
Justine did them as well, you know that girl. With her.
Is she the one that played the banjo as an apology? I should say, is that a different woman?
Miranda.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Miranda Sings, but yeah, YouTube was overpopulated by parodies back in the day. It was like the big thing. Like we say, like Brock Baker, that sort of group where it was just the thing to do. But Weird Al was the main sort of person who brought it into the limelight, not on the internet. He still does it, I think, just not to an extent. Like Amish Paradise, which is in the film. Another one, Rides the Bus. Eat It as well. So yeah, that kind of thing. Sorry, again, we're kind of winging this a little bit, which is why we might be saying not as much. As mentioned...
If you like heavy comedy, then this one's definitely for you. There were so many scenes where we were like, surely that didn't happen.
Yeah, it starts off a bit like, it starts off tricking you into thinking it's going to be a regular, like, film, like a biopic along the lines of, like, Bohemian Rhapsody, especially. It starts off with him as a kid, and then he gets a bit older. And then, like with Bohemian Rhapsody, it was very much like, oh, he's on the spot, just, oh, I wrote this song. But, particularly...
Quite a few well, not the one and only, but we have
Yeah, the guy who sung Peaches is the name of... Jack Black, who of course we've had in the Super Mario movie. We have Jack Black, we have David Dastmalchian. Your main cast includes like Daniel Radcliffe, Rainn Wilson from The Office. He's in other stuff, but that's what people know him from.
And an actor who plays Madonna, which is weird. Not
Madonna,
yeah.
but someone plays Madonna.
Which is really bloody weird. Like her even mentioned.
Yeah, but also Weird Al himself, as I mentioned, is in the film, and there was a good scene where, like, his assistant, or I think it's his brother, is just yelling at Daniel Radcliffe as Al, where he's just insulting him. The real Al is like, okay, that might be a bit much. Like, come on. But no, it's a good laugh. I've been wanting to watch it for a long old time. When it was announced, and I was like, Daniel Radcliffe's going to play Weird Al. He did a pretty good job, to be fair. But it was such a weird...
Prime.
Some Prime. We're keeping Prime now that I finally have a fucking job.
Be aware, if you get Prime, even if you pay a low thing, you still get
my first page.
It's ridiculous how you pay for a subscription and then fuck you Amazon for making us pay extra.
Don't forget
to
Netflix.
the app.
Netflix is now doing that, but they've got an ad supported too.
It's like junk mail. Don't be fucking junk mail.
We had junk mail today, which is why she's not happy. She literally opened the door and basically threw it in his face.
I didn't throw it. I just...
You might as well have done. You were just like, "Fucking take this. We don't want your junk mail." It was something to do with like an election in our area, and she was just like, "Just fuck off."
It's Labour.
It was Labour. Like we don't. She was like, "We don't want any junk mail," and then she was just. I was on the phone to the doctors, I think. She was just. He was trying to explain it. He was like, "Oh no, someone needs to get re-elected," and I was just like, "Just shut the fucking door in his face. I don't care."
I'm sorry. I'm not voting for Labour, and I'm not voting for the Blue Party again.
Take your propaganda and shut up your ass. Honestly, this has just made me think. Could we just have one review where we don't go on a side tangent for something that has nothing to do with the fucking film? Just once. But anyway, back on track. So as we mentioned, this is a satire of like biopics that have come out. As I mentioned, things like Bohemian Rhapsody, Rocket Man, that sort of thing. When we say satire, I mean it really goes off the fucking rails in the third act.
The ending.
Yeah, it's a biopic where we are doing what we usually would do with like horror films, where we would pick the best kill, worst kill. It goes really off the rails. He's just like performing. He sort of gets addicted to like drugs and alcohol, and then he goes off. He goes off into like Colombia and kills what's Pablo Escobar, and then gets assassinated at the end.
I'm honest, Ron always makes a good point, and he says sometimes I'll watch it.
He always says there's little things a day you miss. Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those films where we'd have to watch it again to then be like, because the first time you're gonna have a laugh, and then you're gonna sit there and confused, and I feel like the second time you would get it.
He particularly says these kind of things about like Disney films, because Disney films have all sorts of little things. Most famously, you've got the pizza truck that's usually in most of their films, like the Pixar ones. The Pizza Planet truck, that's what it's called. And then there's like A11037 or something. I think that's the original animation like company or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, the third act, he goes and assassinates Pablo Escobar, which obviously, excuse me, I can't speak in a minute. Which obviously just isn't what happened. Like, Weird Al wouldn't just be known... He would be known as a parody artist, but it would also be known as the guy who kills Pablo Escobar. Yeah, it's really fucking weird, but... Like I say, initially it gives off the idea that this is going to be a genuine, like, biopic and his story, and then towards the end it's like... What the fuck? Like... Because he gets assassinated at the end, and you said to me, you said, did he die?
I didn't like he had actually died. I was like, oh.
But as I said to you, he's in the fucking film.
Yeah, but
Your brain no worky good, does it? No. Yeah, it has some of his songs in it, some of his hits. Apparently, Michael Jackson ripped him off instead of him ripping off Michael Jackson. It's a good laugh.
God, that was...
The whole film is fucking weird. Hence the name. But yeah, there's nothing more to say really. It's just... I thought the acting was good. I think Daniel Radcliffe did a good job being Weird Al.
Yeah, he played it really well. And...
Yeah, we're terrible. We're not good with names. Whoever played Madonna, she did a good job. as a fictional Madonna who becomes like the successor of Pablo Escobar.
Jack Black.
Jack Black came in, he chewed up scenery and left. It's Jack Black. Like, you can't go wrong with having him in any project you do.
At the time, Ryan Reynolds didn't have any lines.
It's because we watched Scream 3 tonight, which you will see a review of, or you have seen a review of, at some point. Because I don't know what order I'm putting these two up, but we're recording Scream 3 in this one back to back, so... Yeah, we just watched that, and that's got Patrick Warburton in it, who was in Scream. And was gay and dating a fictional character played by Ryan Reynolds, who just had no lines, he just shows up. Yeah, or like that, it's just Jack Black shows up, chews some scenery and leaves. Yeah, it's a very campy, it makes a change from your regular biopics where it's just like, what the fuck? It's just your regular story, but the fact he's taken, like what he does with parodies, he's doing a parody of biopics. And I think it really does go fucking crazy towards the end. But I think it suits his sort of style, to be sure. But yeah, that's about it, really. Apologies, we are a bit more, what's the word to call it? Unprepared. You can blame our computer for losing my fucking notes and, like, my script and that. Hence why this is a bit more improvised. So yeah, I've been your host as ever, Purple Minute 8. Thank you ever so much for listening. I have been joined once more by the Obsidian Nook / Petal ASMR. You can find all her links in the description alongside mine and my supposed co-host of this channel, Morgan. In like I say, inside of the description. But yeah, other than that, thank you, and we will see you next time.